Hello everybody, I am Broadtoast and welcome back to another review. Today we're discussing Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is the newest game from the developer Ubisoft. The same developer brought us Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six, The Division, Ghost Recon, and many, many more titles. Skull and Bones is an open-world seafaring pirate game made by Ubisoft Singapore, which is this specific studio's first game, who used the Ubisoft Anvil engine which has been used since PS3 and Xbox 360 days, but has obviously had many updates over the years. The game originally began development in 2013, which was proposed to be an expansion of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which then changed to an MMO spin-off called Black Flag Infinite. Then it was finally set to be a whole new project in itself. Skull and Bones had several large delays since its original release time, which was aimed to be the second half of 2018. Further delays led the release to be February 16, 2024, and had a 3-day early access period for people who bought the premium edition of the game. The game is set in the 17th century in the Indian Ocean and can play up with 3 friends in co-op to explore, craft, fight, take down pirates, ghost ships, and sea monsters alike in a PvPvE environment. There are 9 different ships to craft and collect and 10 different weapon types to equip your ships with. The customization delves further than just weaponry. You can change the sail design, decorate the ship, place some pets on there, and even change the entire of your crew. I spent a bit of time playing this game on my stream, and just a bit of time off stream as well. I was really looking forward to this game, as I was a really big fan of Sea of Thieves and other pirate games that have come out in the past, such as Black Flag and Sid Meier's Pirates and a few other odds and sods that have released over the years. We haven't really had many pirate games, especially open world ones, for quite some time. Like, if you ask anyone what pirate game they can think of, they'll say Sea of Thieves. And, quite respectively so, as that game has been around for about 6 years or so now, and it's had a very good development cycle and a very large player base that's been continuously going back into it across several different gaming platforms, such as PC, Xbox, and so on and so forth. As always, I have my pros and cons list, and this is my subjective experience on the game and my overall thoughts on the game, and what I think the game should or shouldn't be, and things that I think were good, things that I think were bad, and so on and so forth. So let's just start with the pros. The game looks great. It looks really nice. The environments look really cool, the water looks great, and so on. The ships, it's just really nice. And the next point, ships are really cool. I think they're quite nice, they're well designed, they look great, they look time appropriate as well. The ship combat is really fun, really good. You can do broadsiding attacks, you can launch attacks from quite a distance away, you can use torpedoes, you can use big massive mortars on the front of your ship and all other kinds of attacks like that. The streamer mode is lovely. So if you are familiar with streamers who play games like Rust, you'll know there's a streamer mode in that game to prevent people from griefing them and just giving them an overall hard time and just harassing them in the game. So that's quite nice that it has that. The ambient sounds are great. When you're sailing through the ocean, you hear the water crashing against your ship, you hear the wind, and just the ambient sounds of a town, like people, working, people talking. It's really quite nice. The water physics are fantastic. I've seen a lot of people say that they're really bad, but I think they look great. They have nice waves, they have the nice swells on the beaches. I think it looks really good. The in-game assets are great. The environmental assets, such as like trees and rocks and stones and just buildings and everything, I think they all look really good. They've been really well made. I really quite like them. The voice acting is fantastic. They got great voice actors, gave them great direction, and I really have enjoyed the voice acting so far. You really feel like you're interacting with these fearsome pirates or these smugglers or people who work in bars and things like that. It's really quite cool. The sailing is quite fun. It's just nice to go on the open seas without particular destination in mind. Just sail. It's quite nice, quite relaxing, and I kind of enjoy that. I really enjoyed that aspect in Sea of Thieves as well. Sometimes I would just travel, do a treasure hunt, just travel. It's really quite fun. NPCs fight each other. As you're progressing through the game, you'll discover several different factions. Some from the trading companies, some people who just live there. They will actively engage in open combat on the ocean. I think that's fantastic. It shows the world is alive and thriving without you being there. Random quests spawn while exploring the high seas. You can come across quests that they have just spawned. They are just quests that you found to do, which is really, really nice. You're already doing a quest, but look, that ship needs an escort in these pirate-infested waters, and you can absolutely do that, which is fantastic. Opt-in PvP mostly. That's really nice. The one thing I didn't like in Sea of Thieves was, I'm a PvE player, generally speaking, and I like PvE, but I always obviously get attacked by other ships for the cargo I was carrying on board. In this, most of the time, the PvP you have to opt into, which I think is really, really nice. A nice little feature, but by the mostly part, we'll get into shortly. Now, the cons, my friends. Now, before we get into this, I want to preface that this game is an open-world pirate game. So you already have an idea of what you want out of this game, out of this project. You want certain things, so that goes with my first con. There's no swashbuckling. I don't get to jump on a ship, fight their captain with a sword, shoot him with a flintlock pistol or a musket, whatever is available. I don't get to do that. I don't get to live that pirate dream. The island exploration is extremely minimal, if any at all. You'll come across several islands which you can pop onto. You can maybe dig a treasure chest if you've got the map. You talk to 2 NPCs, and then that's it. That is the whole point of the islands. The random islands you come across, you cannot get off and you can't explore on them. I am curious and confused as to why. Why can't I jump onto these islands and explore? Why can't I just have a look around? For an open world game, I was very much under the assumption that I could effectively traverse the open world how I sort of saw fit. Chat services don't work. The text chat in the game doesn't work. Over several days, it was chat services unavailable. So there is a game where I can run to players on the high seas, but I cannot use chat services to communicate with the players. That's kind of defeating the purpose of having a multiplayer game with a chat service. High-level pirate hunters near the start. So in the game, there are pirate hunters, obviously, because it's the height of the piracy during the 17th century. A lot of bad stuff was happening. So several governments, or monarchies more rather, had enlisted pirate hunters to go take out the pesky pirates. Now, there is a starting area called St. Anne, which is where everyone starts, and you're going to be around that area for a while, just getting your materials together so you can upgrade your ship. And there is a level 10 that will just cruise in there sometimes and just destroy you, just ruining the day. And then when you try to go get your stuff back, he's probably still there. The same one killed me multiple times whilst I was trying to evade him so I can get my things back. And it's just very annoying. Like, this level shouldn't be here at all. The map is large. Why can't you be exclusively to the second half of the map once I've gotten to the point where I can potentially fight you? No shipboarding. The entire shipboarding that the game says it has is a quick 5-second cinematic that when you throw grappling hooks onto an enemy ship, and then your crew goes in there and you get like a little bit of extra loot. That's it. There is no storming the enemy ship, fighting, taking over their ship or anything like that. There's none of that. No land combat. Once again, that brings back to my previous point of the island exploration is very minimum. There is a special quest that will spawn. It's like a legendary treasure map. You get the treasure map, tells you where to go, you go there. As soon as you set foot on that island, you are now impervious to all enemy attacks. You cannot die. You've guaranteed won that treasure map. And why not? Why can't I fight other pirates on land? Why can't I get into sword fights with them? Why can't I fight other NPCs on land when that is a big thing of being a pirate? It's not just ship-based combat, there's so much more. Cash shop is extremely expensive. This is obviously very, very common with a lot of AAA or quadruple A games, as that this game has claimed to be by the game director, which is quite an interesting astonishment, especially when but to be fair, they did have a $120 million budget on this, and it has been in development for 11 years, but Anyway, the cash store is very expensive. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2 recently. Their cash store is extremely generous, where for $2.50 Australian, you can buy a whole armor set, and it looks really nice. In this one, I can spend $15 to get a cat, and that's it. It's like, okay, cool, fantastic. And obviously, it's very predatory-based microtransactions where you can buy this much, but you're going to be a little bit short getting a second item, or you can have a little bit extra remaining. Like, that's fantastic. Premium Edition has locked content. This is something I've always been very, very against. The Premium Edition of this game has 2 extra missions that you can only get if you own the Premium Edition. I don't like the fact that I have paid 90 Australian dollars for a full gaming experience, and because I didn't want to pay an extra $30 on top of that, I am now losing content out of the base game. Not a DLC though, mind you, a base game. I think that is extremely in poor taste, especially for a game that's been in development as long as it has, and for the price of the game. If the game was $20, I'd be, okay, fair enough, it is what it is. But it's not. Stamina system. Your ship has a stamina system. You can't just sail full speed all the time. You have to manage stamina with your crew, who then, when you run out of stamina, you can just force feed a bunch of food to, and you can carry several hundred items of food on your ship at all times, which then completely defeats the purpose of having a stamina system, but also having a stamina system in a game where the entire map is extremely expansive and can take you 20 plus minutes, 30 minutes to traverse areas that you're trying to go, or trying to explore for a quest, or just go. It is an unnecessary addition to make it even more of a negative experience. There's also an over-encumbrance system. Your ship has a hold, but yeah, your storage, your inventory, totally gravy. Totally gravy with that. And you can have X amount of items in that hold. Like, okay, cool. You know what, the ship's only so big. Once again, I can respect that. But if you fill it up to the max weight capacity, your ship will maximum go half speed. Which, once again, why? Why am I doing this? Why? I have all these materials because I need them to craft, I need them to sell, to make money in the game so I can buy better stuff. Why am I now being punished in a ship game that relies on the wind because I want to get more stuff? Like, why have an encumbrance system? Why not just have an inventory limits, like Elder Scrolls Online, for example, where you have, like, so, 100 slots, for example. When the 100 slots are filled, you can't take any more items. Why not just leave it like that? Random PvP zones. So that's why I said before that the PvP is mostly opt-in. You can come across these massive zones with a red border, which you may not even realize what they are at first, which I didn't, which are open PvP. You can go in there, you can be absolutely smashed by players. I don't know how they spawned, I don't know why they spawned, but if you accidentally walk into one, they can kill you and take all your goodies. And those PvP spawns aren't marked on the map, which is very frustrating. But also very negative for players who want PvP. If you know there's a PvP zone and that's what you're looking for, you're going to go straight there. And if you don't want PvP because you're just trying to do some quests to level up, you're going to avoid that area. Once again, a very negative experience to PvE-focused players or to new players. No ambient music. There is no ambient music. It'd be nice if there was a bit of a tune always sort of played, or a little bit here and there, kind of like what Minecraft did, or kind of what Rust did, where there was some music here and there. It wasn't always constant. There are sea shanties sung, which then goes to my next point, but there isn't really much to speak of. It is nice hearing the sounds of nature, but I also want to hear a bit of music as well. And in terms of the sea shanties, the crew does sing sea shanties, which is really, really cool, but there's very few of them. There are dozens and dozens of sea shanties. I've heard maybe 4 unique ones in 10 hours. Very minimal character customization. When you're designing your character, you have very few options on what you want to do. So let's say you wanted some scars and a tattoo. Can't do that. You can have one or the other. There is like only a few hairstyles. There's only a few body types. It's just very limiting. I mean, if you've designed your game to be a vast open world game with all these wonderful bits for players to explore, why can't I have more of an in-depth character customization menu? I've seen shovelware MMOs that are free have a much more in-depth system. Additional factions are meaningless. Before I mentioned that the additional factions within the game will fight each other in the open seas, which is super cool, and there is factions that you can interact with for quests, selling things, stuff like that. Like Faction A won't buy this item because they sell it. Faction B will buy the item because they don't have it, and they'll buy it at a higher price, which is really, really nice. So you can sort of understand the economy of the game where it's faction-based. However, there is no faction reputation system, there is no faction reward system. It's like, yeah, they have a couple quests, but you can spend 2 hours killing all of their ships on the open seas, like 50 meters from an encampment, and then plunder that encampment, and there is zero repercussions for it. You don't lose reputation, you don't go to hated. what would have been so much better is if there was a reputation system and you side with one, the other one goes to haste after X amount of quests, and then you have a redemption quest. So then you can do it the other way around, you can get all the rewards that are associated with that, and it gives the game much more depth and much more realism in terms of that. Not just, I'm pirate, I'm gonna go fight everything, and no one's gonna do anything about it. Treasure hunts are boring. In Sea of Thieves, a big part of the game, if you haven't played it, is the treasure maps. Treasure maps will be riddle-based, there'll be X marks the spot. So it's nice and simple. You see the picture of the island, you're like, okay, cool, I need to go to this island. And then when you get to the island, the first part of a riddle pops up. And it's something to do with the island. It's like you have to basically go find the grave site, and then you can progress from there. And it's really quite cool, really fun, and really intuitive. While this is, you find the island, and you look for the big red icon, and then that's it. It's just boring. They could have done so much more with it. They could have just done an X marks the spot. And you know what? I would have been happy if I had to count paces. I would have been happy if I had to use a compass to travel. But no, I basically just find the island and wander around till I find a giant red icon. Can't change track quests in map, excluding the main quest. This is just a quality of life thing. If I want to change my quest to a side quest that I'm tracking, I don't want to have to go to my journal. Let me just press F in the map to change it instead of just the main quest. It's just quality of life. Gathering resources. The way you gather resources in this game is you go to a resource node on the map, and then you park your ship there, and you do a strange minigame to collect that resource. You don't get to jump off your ship to collect wood. You don't get to order your crew to jump off the ship and collect wood. You just do this really annoying minigame. It's fine, but after you do it a couple dozen times, you can't be bothered. And the devs, I think, realized it's not a particularly good minigame because there's an option in the settings menu that you can just do auto harvesting. You just got to park your ship there. If you gave the player the option to do that, it means you didn't have that much faith in that system, so why have that system? Time quests expire, but after they expire, you can just pick up the same quest again, which then defeats the purpose of it being timed. If I'm picking up a bounty quest from the bounty board at St. Anne, I have to go kill a certain pirate, sink their ship. Cool, no worries at all. But if it expires, and I can go back to St. Anne, pick up the same quest, what was the point of it expiring? Why not just have them constantly moving around the map? Why not just do it like that? It's just kind of pointless if I can just pick the same quest again. Yellow Game is a bit annoying. It's just annoying when you have like those high-level pirate hunters chilling out at the starting zone. I don't know how many other people had that experience. Maybe it was a unique experience, but that was just really irking me quite a lot. And when I'm trying to do the most earliest quest so I can get a ship together instead of my little rowboat, I don't want to be harassed by high-level NPCs in what effectively is the starting area. The gameplay is bland. Look, the ship combat is fun to an extent, but then that's it. That's the game. That is the whole game. And if you want a game where you sail a ship and just fight other ships, this is absolutely the game for you, and you will have a great time. But for me, I wanted much more in a pirate game than just go to ship A, kill ship, go to ship B, kill ship B, which is basically what a lot of the gameplay boils down to be. Quest markers need improvement. There are certain quests or a lot of the quests, you have to go collect something and bring it to a specific merchant or whatever it may be. I accidentally put the item I needed in my storage, and the game wouldn't tell me that, so I spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out where this item was. Did I lose it? Did it despawn or something? Just to then check my bank, and I stored it there somehow at one point in time. Why not just have the quest marker on my storage so I know where the item is? Just, once again, a little bit of quality of life improvements. Just that's it. Just a little bit of quality of life improvements. Can't select crewmates. So the game that has advertised itself to be an open-world pirate RPG, you would then assume that once you get a ship that requires a crew of more than just like you and like the first person that the game sort of puts you with, you'd be able to curate a crew that you're looking for, like someone who's better at using long guns, someone who's better at sailing, so that way your ship speed might be a little bit faster, you might catch the wind a bit better, or someone who is boosts morale or something, so stamina, is less, lasts a lot longer or something like that. But no, you craft your ship and you have a crew. Just that's it. Like that's it. Like, who are these people? Why do I have a crew? I've washed up on this island, effectively speaking, being a complete nobody. Now I have a crew of 15 who are just loyal to the death with me. It's just kind of annoying. And once again, if I'm a pirate captain, why can't I curate a crew that would suit my playstyle and allow me to then develop the crew that I want to be the pirate captain I want to be? Crewmates get annoyed with you as well. There's one thing I kind of found very strange. So when you're collecting these resource nodes, right? Let's just say you need 10 pine wood, just for the sake of throwing out a wood name there, right? You need 10. After you collect 10, your crew then starts getting actively annoyed with you that you're collecting more than 10. They'll just start saying, Captain, we don't need this. Captain, we have enough. Captain, we don't want to do this anymore. It's like, bro, yes, we have the 10 wood, but you know what? I might need more later. Or, we have very little food. Let me harvest these coconuts or something. Why are you yelling at me? It's just weird. Character movement on land is very blocky, and it builds up momentum. It's a very strange movement. So when you move, sometimes it's like you're moving with like rectangular legs kind of thing, and then when you make a step, your character practically jumps. Why am I building up so much momentum when I'm running around in environments? And also, I will point out now that it does seem like I'm being hypercritical of what seemingly could be very, very small, minute points. But I also am going into this as a consumer who's paid full price for a game that's been marketed as a quadruple A experience. And with that being said, the A system is pretty much means funding, marketing, development, resources. These four things. If you're saying your game is a quadruple A game, that you are indirectly implying, or you are directly implying, that this will be arguably the best, most polished game on the market because of how much extra quality is there. So you are advertising your game to be better than Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, Red Dead 2. And that's why I'm being so critical of some of these points. Escort quests. Everyone loves escort quests. Now, I will point out, I actually do like escort quests because they're kind of fun. And like when I used to play Elder Scrolls Online, because I've played a heap of that over the years, your escorts will actually sprint with you. It's really, really nice. But the meme is they always go slower in other games. In this, they go half your speed, and if you get too far, they just stop. So you have to then sail your whole ship around, which quite literally has the turning circle of, well, a giant boat, so you can tell it takes a minute, just for them to come back to you. And then on the other hand of that, players can kill the ship that you're escorting for the quest. So you're not opted in PvP, but that NPC ship is now still a viable target for any player who decides they want to kill that ship. So players can just grief you on those quests. You could be 50 meters from your destination, and they can just blast the ship, no problem at all. And it's just, once again, extremely annoying. Inventory management is also super annoying. When I'm at the warehouse, I either have to select each item individually, max out the stack, and then transfer it, or mark each individual item, and then traverse it. Why can't I just drag? Why can't I just right click? Why can't I just do all of these other things? Why is this extra? What's this extra step that I have to deal with? Dumb weak points, no dynamic weak points. So each ship that you come across, all of the ships in the game, they all have very, very specific weak points. Oftentimes it's the ammunition stash for the ship's weapon. So if they've got a flamethrower on the front of the ship, it's going to be the big oil barrel on the back. If they're using cannons, it's going to be the big box of cannonballs and like maybe a porthole or something. Why are these the only weak points that I have available to me? Why is the helm not a weak point? Why is the cannons themselves not a weak point? Why is the mast not a weak point? Why is the bottom of the hull not a weak point? And then also, why are there no dynamic weak points? Why can't it just be a case of, yeah, it's always going to be the ammo stash. Okay, cool, because they then won't be able to use their weapons. Why can't there also be, oh shit, the master's a dynamic weak point in this fight. Cool, let's aim that so that way we can just stop their ship from moving, so in case I need to escape, I can, or I can just, board them whenever I feel like it. There should be something like that. Not every ship is going to be the same. And with a game like this, it'd be really nice to see that, say, you see a ship that's been visibly more weathered than others, and it has additional weak spots. It has more than just the 2 weak spots. It's got 5 weak spots, because you can see visible repairs on it. Kind of like what they did with Zero Generation, that's the robot game, where you would see robots who had visible damage from previous fights you had with them. Why couldn't it be something like that? Why couldn't you just have something in the script that says, here's 9 sections of the ship with RNG. It will just determine what a new dynamic weak point will be for this one specific ship. That'd be really cool. And rather than just a case of, I know exactly where I need to aim at all times, it's, oh, this ship, I can see it's been in a battle before because it's a different model. I will aim specifically for the bow because there's damage there. Only way to get new ships is to craft them. Once again, I'm going to preface, you are a pirate. You're a pirate captain trying to be the most arguably deadly pirate in all the 7 seas, and wealthy pirates. Why can't I steal ships? You know, why is there more pirate elements in Starfield than this game? Where Starfield was obviously an open world RPG where you could be a pirate or not be a pirate. This is an entire game where you are to be a pirate, and I can't steal a ship, nor can I buy a ship. I can only craft them. I have to farm all these resources to craft the ship instead of seeing, that's a pretty sweet galleon, I'm going to go kill the crew and take it. Which I think is a massively missed opportunity. You can't swim. You were probably the only career sailor, who can't swim in this game. Obviously, back in the day, a lot of people couldn't swim, sure. And let's be honest, we're not doing a realism. The game's not realism. Let's just be frank about that right now. Why can't I swim? Why is it that I go to one of these pointless islands and there's a big body of water in the middle? Why can't I just swim across it? Like, just why not? And like I said before, with the island exploration being minimum, the islands are pointless. You go there, you pick up a quest, you sell some shit, you leave. There is no exploration, it really involved them. After 30 seconds, you've seen the whole island. There's no dynamic quests that really happen apart from maybe a treasure map. Maybe. There is no just cool stuff. You can't just do whatever you want. Like, not obviously do whatever you want. But they just seem pointless, and because 90% of them you can't even explore, you can't even land on. No ship fishing. Now I'm going to be very, very specific with this point. So you start with a very, very small ship. It's basically a rowboat with like a really, really tiny sail. Quite nice. And you can do fishing. You can, or hunting more accurately, because you can hit bows and crocodiles and stuff like that. You have a spear, which you use for fishing. All good. When you don't use that ship, you can't. You do not have a fishing rod, you don't have your spears, and I just think, why not? You have a fishing system or hunting system already established in your game. Why can I not use it in a big ship? Why can't I just sit in the middle of the ocean fishing like I did in Sea of Thieves? Or why can't I just go fishing pretty much wherever I want, like in New World, for example? Like, why do I have to be on this very specific ship using this very specific weapon? Why can't I just get a fishing rod from a merchant? Game-breaking bugs. Once again, for a quadruple A game, I had to force restart this game. There would be bugs where I just could not open a menu, could not leave a cinematic. It's just, well, this is a great new experience for this game. And lastly, on my cons list, my friend, this is the biggest cons list I've ever written in my life. I can't manually maneuver my ship. Now, very specifically, what I mean by that is, I can go left and right and forward, but I can't manually adjust my sails to try and catch wind. A good thing in Sea of Thieves is, once again, like I said, I know I'm doing a lot of comparisons to Sea of Thieves, but I think it's also a very fair comparison to do against Sea of Thieves. You can manually adjust your sails to try and catch the wind more efficiently so that way you can sail faster, which is really, really nice. This, you either have them up, mostly down, or down. That's it. That's the whole maneuvering of sails to catch the wind. That's pretty much it. Look, all in all, the game for me severely missed the mark in almost every way. The game looks beautiful. It absolutely does. I will always say how great certain things are. And like some of the quests are really cool. They're really, really interesting. There's quests where you deal with other trading companies. There's quests where you're trying to broker deals. And it's quite interesting. Like, they have good stuff here, but it's just completely drowned by all this crap that they've just also laid onto there, and stripping systems. There is more systems and features in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which came out quite some years ago now, and even before that, there was more systems and more features in Sid Meier's Pirates. What's that game? What, 20 plus years old? Yeah, exactly 20 years old that game is, and there is more systems and more features in that than there is in this game. All I can say is I am severely disappointed with this game. I was really hoping I would have a great time. I've played it since my initial like playthrough, or not playthrough, sorry, like play of it, and I had like a bit of fun, like kind of. But if you want a game where you can actually play as a proper pirate, you know, explore the seas, make your crew, you know, steal ships, and live like be like a pirate legend, effectively speaking, this is not the game. This is absolutely not the game for you. If you want a game where all you do is ship combat and sail, you will love this game. You will absolutely love this game. So I will say I definitely fall into the first category there, where I was genuinely really hoping there'd be more to this than just sail, shoot, sail, shoot. I was hoping I could customize my crew. I was hoping I could maybe even have like passive skills, like in like a skill tree, or like you know, like they have in Tarkov, or just a sword fight. I know that sounds so silly, but I want to do these actions that are synonymous with pirates, not just cruise around a ship and watch all the cool shit happens while my crew goes and plunders a settlement and boards a ship while I'm just chilling out at the ship, just hanging out, having a beer. I just think it's a very, very missed opportunity, and they could have had something truly, truly remarkable to beat Sea of Thieves and to be the pirate adventure game. But like I said, I think they missed it. I think they missed the mark heavily. And I think there was a lot of things in the game that just shouldn't be there. There's a lot of things that need work. There's a lot of things that should be changed. There's a lot of things that need to be added. And I think this is a less than average experience. So the way I number my games, my friends, is 1 is terrible, never even look at it, even if you have to. 5 is an average game, not bad. Not bad at all. You're happy with the purchase, but you're not going to rave about how good it is. And 10 is Game of the Year material. This is a 3. This is a below average experience for me. After I originally did my stint of 8.5 hours, I had zero motivation to ever want to play this game again. That's it. And I think it's such a shame, because it could have been so great. But in any case, my friends, that is just my thoughts. That's my thoughts on the game, on my experiences and my thoughts. What did you think of the game? Please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear about it, and I'd love to discuss this with you, because, what are your opinions on it? Did you enjoy the game? Did you hate the game? Because I've met people on both sides, though. I love talking about games. Feel free to come over into my stream sometime and have a chat about some games, whether it be this game or a different game that I may have played in the past, or a game that you really enjoyed in the past. All my links are down in the description below. But guys, thank you all so very much for watching. Have an absolute lovely day, a lovely night, and hope I'll see you all really, really soon, okay?